Here's a chance to do more than just be part of making an amazing major motion picture, but supporting one of the most beautiful, romantic, misunderstood regions in all of America. Appalachia is home for some of the greatest people in the world, some of the greatest history in the world, some of the greatest music in the world, and that's what the Caney Creek motion picture celebrates. Unlike so many other movies like Coal Miner's Daughter, which was a wonderful story, or Dollmaker, which was another wonderful story of Appalachia, but in those movies, folks had to leave the mountains for a better life. Caney Creek is a celebration of the beauty of this magnificent region and the people who lived there for centuries that somehow made a very difficult region a beautiful home. We've done a lot of pretty amazing things so far. We created the Wood Songs broadcast that airs on over 500 radio stations around the world, from Australia to Ireland. It's on American Forces Radio Network in 177 nations, public television, the RFD television network. It's even in schools. We did a spin-off series that's under production now, Wood Songs Kids, that's airing on public television and public radio around the country. We created the Song Farmers community, bringing the front porch community of musicians from Australia across America, even in Ireland, as we celebrate our hometowns with music. We've done the Walden play, the story of Henry David Thoreau and Ralph Waldo Emerson, performed over 9,000 times in 42 countries and turned into a public television special airing Earth Week every single year. We even did the Woody Guthrie opera, traditional opera, about the day Woody Guthrie created This Land Is Your Land. So moving into movies, how hard can it be, right? And so we're inviting you to be part of a motion picture. Movies have a tremendous value to a region, and Appalachia deserves a good movie that's more than just meth heads and angry people and hillbilly cliches and Hatfield and McCoys. This is a beautiful, magnificent region of good people. Caney Creek celebrates that. You know, there was a movie called Shawshank Redemption, filmed in Ohio, a tiny little budget. You probably have heard of that movie before. It's generated over $200 million in tourism just for the one county that the movie was made in. So the Caney Creek motion picture, finally a positive movie about a beautiful region, can have a tremendous tourism and economic impact in the Appalachian region. The music of Caney Creek, it's a majestic symphony of simplicity. It's going to be tremendously beautiful. Kentucky has a really good motion picture incentive program, so people can put money into a project like this, and the state of Kentucky will participate in how the movie is made, and there's so many resources out here. Plus you've got those beautiful Appalachian Mountains as part of the history. We can make this movie in the region that it happened in. Become a Caney champion. Wood Songs is a 501c3. We're raising a lot of money. This is a difficult thing, but we need your help, and there's going to be a lot of different levels for you to participate. The movie is about Alice Lloyd and what she accomplished. The script is about a father and a son. A father who grew up seeing the harm that outsiders have done to the mountain people and to the mountain region. And a young boy, a teenage boy, that sees the value of what Alice Lloyd was trying to do and how her work impacted literally thousands of people until it was finally saved on the NBC television network. If participating in this movie is interest, keep watching as we tell you now the story of Caney Creek and the legend of Alice Lloyd. Caney Creek, the legend of Alice Lloyd, is the Dances with Wolves of Appalachia, a motion picture set in the most cinematic, poetic, beautiful, and mysterious regions of America. It's the powerful, true story of Alice Lloyd. She was a 40-year-old journalist in Boston who suffered a sudden stroke. Given 6 months to live, the doctors recommended she move to a warmer climate. She's offered a free cabin in the Appalachian Hollers, but with a warning: the locals did not take kindly to outsiders. Abandoned by her husband, Alice arrived in November of 1915 with her aging mother to a windowless cabin in a holler in Knott County, Kentucky. In February, a struggling mountain man named Abisha Johnson had a dream that this woman who just moved into the county would teach his children to read. In the middle of the night, he crossed 2 mountains in a snowstorm and collapsed through her door, begging her to move to his home in Caney Creek. And if she did, he promised he would give her his land as payment. The motion picture of Caney Creek is more than just the story of Alice Lloyd and her friend June Buchanan. It's really about Abisha's son, Angus, who sees the poverty of the coal camps, the raping of the mountains, and the cruelty of the outsiders. He resents his father gave away his inheritance, his land, to this outside woman. Caney Creek is the story of how Alice survived with both the help and opposition of the mountain people. They were shot at, ridiculed, burned down. They were also supported and praised. It's the story of a father's fight against the prejudice and harm the outsiders have done to the mountains, and the story of his own son, who's willing to sacrifice everything, even going against his father, to make a better life for himself. And it's the story of Alice, a handicapped woman who ended up outliving the doctors who gave her 6 months to live. She wrote over 60,000 letters to people around the nation for help. One of those letters landed on the desk of Lamont DuPont, the chairman of the DuPont Chemical Corporation, who sent her a small check every Christmas time for years. Upon his passing after World War II, his accountant noticed a yearly stipend to an unknown woman in the Appalachian Mountains. Thinking it was a secret heir, his widow instructed the accountant to travel with a suitcase of cash and pay her off. A writer heard about the story and wrote an article in Reader's Digest magazine called Stay On Stranger. When the magazine was published, a producer on the West Coast, a man with a TV show on NBC called This Is Your Life, arranged to trick Alice Lloyd, who had not left Caney Holler in over 26 years, to come to California and appear on his show. What happened when the broadcast aired is a miracle. Caney Creek is a motion picture of 2 strong women, of a father and a son. It's a motion picture in praise of the passion, love, and absolute intelligence of the mountain people. It's the Dances with Wolves of Appalachia. It's Grapes of Wrath and Coal Miner's Daughter, all wrapped into one incredible, true story. Caney Creek, the legend of Alice Lloyd, is the story of America at its best, set in the most visual, musical, and misunderstood region in the nation, a place of front porches, incredible hardship, and the amazing perseverance of generations who called those mountains home. Can you imagine a movie like this, the impact that it can make? 16 cents, that's what she was worth when she was passed away. And it's more than just a movie. This is a story that can remind America what made this the most incredible and amazing community in history. Imagine this motion picture having its theater run, and then on streaming services like Netflix and Amazon. But even more than that, imagine attaching lesson plans to a movie like this and sending it into schools and colleges nationwide. It's a woman's story. It's a handicap story. It's a story about one of the most poetic and beautiful regions in America that nobody understands. It's one of the most mysterious and brilliant places that has been so misused by the media and so full of cliches. You know, there's 30 million Appalachians that live in these mountains. If every single person donated 35 cents, we could make this motion picture. It's a movie and story about passion, friendship, family, redemption. In many ways, it reintroduces the Appalachian communities as a good and passionate and loyal and hardworking people. It's the Dances with Wolves of Appalachia. It's Grapes of Wrath for the 21st century. You can go to caneycreekmovie.com and you can actually watch the entire broadcast of This Is Your Life with Alice Lloyd and Ralph Edwards and see how incredible this true story really is. We need you. We need you to help fund this motion picture. You know, there's all kinds of things going on in this world, but this is a good thing. This is a good way to place your money and help us do something incredible. You know, in a perfect world, after the The donations are done, the loans are done, the investments are paid back, even with interest if we do that way. In a perfect world, the proceeds of this story will stay with the woman who was worth 16 cents when she died. In a perfect world, the proceeds from the Caney Creek movie will remain with Alice Lloyd, not with the studio, funding the ability for young Appalachian kids to go to the college, their community colleges of their choice. That's what this movie should be about. You can become an executive producer of the motion picture at a certain level. At a premiere level, you'll get to come to the premiere of the movie when it's done. We're planning to have that at the historic Kentucky Theater in Lexington, not far at all from where Alice Lloyd lived her life. We want you to donate and put your money into a motion picture that matters. And Caney Creek matters. Pass this on, share it, caneycreekmovie.com, open up your wallets, help us do something brilliant on the big screens all over the nation.